Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing what I would call, without reservation, the coolest Patek Philippe Perpetual Calendar Chronograph I have ever encountered. Part of a series launched in 2014, this is the diamond and genuine sapphire set Patek Philippe 5271 11P-001. It is a platinum monster, and you can see dozens of real sapphires, not the synthetic type, set in the bezel, the lugs, and even on the dial at 12 o'clock. The watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, wearing quite easily. The watch 41 millimeters in diameter, but thin in profile at only 12.9 and 49.8 from lug to lug. Let me see if I can move my cuff out of the way and show you to good advantage how it spans the wrist. This is a watch I can recommend for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference. An easy one to wear, and with a 21 millimeter lug spacing, it has a broad stance on the wrist. It's a bewildering array of blues and blacks and the white of platinum. This is a timepiece that has several subtle refinements that can actually ingratiate it into the male gem watch skeptic. So if you consider yourself a purist collector and you're not into gems, this video might change your mind. So it's an easy watch to wear on a small wrist, but let's get close. Quickly take a look at the strap because the hardware is impressive and important. The strap is simple, large rectangular scale alligator leather, gloss, monotone stitch, folded edge, calfskin on the underside. You can see it's a new Patek Philippe factory strap, no compromise here. A platinum buckle to match, you can see PT 950, but things get interesting on the top. That filigree style Calatrava cross, set with 22 individual baguette style sapphires, all of them individually color matched by eye and optical scanner, so there is no gradient shift as you move your eye from gem to gem, each individually faceted by hand and set with an invisible setting. You can see there is actually no pincer or track between the gems, just the borders on the outside and the inside. Jumping back to the case, you can see Patek using pull tab spring bars so you can quickly change your strap. The movement's gorgeous, but all the action is on the dial side of this watch. Let's get there, get the focus back under control, and we'll take a look at this case. Now it is the 5270 case. Fluted lugs dramatically stepped out from the case band, rectangular vintage inspired pushers. You can see the knurling of the Calatrava cross style crown and the diamond between the lugs, the top Wesselton diamond, brilliant cut, reminding you this is a platinum Patek Philippe. The case band is strong and of course stepped out from the bezel and the case back. It has a band that runs between the two lugs, and you get a good idea when looking at it from underneath just how dramatically cut out those lugs are from the case band. So the watch, though 41 millimeters, has the aesthetic of something far larger. The lugs are completely gem set. What's the breakdown here? Well, there is one diamond between the lugs. There are 58 sapphires set into the bezel. You can see them to good effect. There is one on the dial. And then, as I count, 20 additional sapphires set on the four lugs. So a lot going on here, and you'll note that there is an invisible setting around the bezel too. You don't see that pincer style bracket mount that you'll find on Rolex set gems, for example. Jumping onto the dial side, a few things have changed. First, you can see that gorgeous sapphire at 12 o'clock. Second, appreciate in almost GMT BLNR fashion, there is a varnished blue Lancet style counterweighted seconds hand at center. As it passes over that sapphire, I want to call your attention to the black discs for the day and the month. This was the first and to date only series of Patek Philippe 5270s to feature black dial and matching black calendar discs. You have a radial calendar date down at 6 o'clock. You have your leap year phase indicator. You have your day-night indicator, so you can see we're transitioning to the night. That's the time when you don't want to use these push adjusters on the flank to try to set the watch. The dial has a lacquered black base, and that means 12 hand-applied and cured lacquer layers have been executed before any dial furniture or any printing is added. The final clear coats are all buffed by hand, so 12 individual applications to create the gloss richness that you see here. There's a moon phase coaxial with the date down at 6 o'clock, and the hands for hours and minutes are white gold leaf or foy style. You can see faceted, diamond polished, and hand applied hour indices with the exception of the set gem. Tachymeter outboard so you can gauge the speed of an object over a closed course in conjunction with the use of the chronograph. The chronograph featuring superb action, and this being a modern Patek Philippe caliber, there is a hacking or stop seconds function, so you have that refinement. Manual wind, 65-hour power reserve, with guaranteed precision per the Patek Philippe seal of no worse than -3 + 2 seconds per day. This is caliber 29535 PSQ, Petit Second, and Quantième Perpetual. You can see the watch featuring a minute jumper when that seconds hand gets all the way around. You'll see that the rack and snail over on the crown side will actually jump. You can see it's a pawl-based system for an instantaneous jumping of the chronograph minutes hand. You can see on the case back, turn everything around, quickly give you a view of the column wheel and the levers of the chronograph in action. You can see the lateral clutch moving away from and into contact with the chronograph driving center wheel, and once it's out of contact, you can drop those hammers on the hard cam at center to recenter the chronograph. Free sprung balance, Gyromax style, overcoil hairspring with a Breguet architecture, so overcoil allowing the watch to keep excellent time in any orientation with respect to gravity, which is why this watch is advertised as adjusted in 6 positions, not the chronometer standard of 5. Black polished cap to the column wheel, all screw heads black polished, 4 Hz beat rate. You can see the bridges all feature a mirrored edge. That's the mirrored chamfer or anglage, optically smooth, executed by hand. It's not a straight bevel executed by machine here. This is the real deal. You can see Côte de Genève on the spare bridges, executed perfectly and aligned perfectly across the bridges. There is perlage or engine turning on the base plate, and each screw features not just that black polished head, but also a chamfered slot. So if you were to look at the slots, they would be chamfered inboard. Gorgeous execution. You can see there's straight satin graining across the levers of the chronograph mechanism. Again, 65-hour power reserve, manually wound. This is a watch that asks absolutely no compromise. 30 meters water resistant. You're not going to take this one swimming, but my goodness, you've got a Nautilus for that, right? See this former application piece available only on the approval of the Sterns, and make it yours on the watch box.